From Senegal to Sugar Hill, trace the bloodline. 100 years of brilliance through the color line. They thought the shackles broke but kept the mental chain. Langston penned the future while they legislated pain. Harlem's ballrooms birthed the cosmos in mahogany, while lynching trees still decorated southern botany. Josephine, Waker's pearls and Garvey's Navy ships. Du Bois debating destiny with scholarship on his lips. The Renaissance was a renaissance, it was resistance, fam. Every trumpet blast from Armstrong was a battering ram. They gave us minstrel shows, we gave them Sora Neal. Turned depression into art, made the fabricated real. Cotton Club excluded us from tables every set. Performed the Deanest nightly, never free from the deck. But Bessie Smith could shatter glass, shatter cash, shatter lies. Every note she sang contained a revolution in disguise. Build temples from the rubble, make cathedrals from the struggle. Turn the margins to the center, now they study what we scribble. We build temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from. Fast forward through the decades, watch the pattern reassemble. Malcolm's speeches, Martin's marches, every voice begins to tremble to the earth until the structure shows its fractures. FBI was tracking every coon with every pastor, every actor. 40 acres never came but 40 minutes on a stage. To reconvene your consciousness and channelize the rage. From bebop to hip-hop, the fool lines mathematical. Each generation weaponized the beautiful, the radical. They gave us Reagan out as crack and mass incarceration. We gave them Public Enemy and blueprints for liberation. The Harlem Renaissance never ended, just evolved its form. Every freestyle cipher is a brainstorm, is a storm. Where the children of the talented, the tenth that was prophesied, inherit the fire that the water couldn't wash aside. They tried to write us out the narrative. We offered all on text, 100 years of proof, and that we're destined where was next. Temples from the rubble, made cathedrals from the struggle. Turned the largest to the center, now they study what we scribble. We built temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from.
This is, and you are Under the Groove. This is the Under the Groove podcast. We're going live. Peace and blessings to all the people, man. Here we are, Grand Rising, man, to everyone who made it this far, so far. Yeah, man. It's always a good look, in my perspective, to be able to come here, man, and just chop it up with the people. We touch bases with the people. I think one of the main reasons why we do that is so that we can start communicating with one another. I think that's one of the problems in the communities. We don't communicate. We have no communication. When guys or individuals, whoever platforms, channels, podcasts call themselves communicating, they're not really talking to the people. They're talking about the people. You know what I mean? There's no real dialogue or discussion to where we can sit down and find, common ground. That's one of the issues, I think, or that's one of the things we lack in our communities, communication that would lead to, discussions that could, help us to understand that we are all in the same boat. We are on common ground. So that being said, like I said, man, peace and blessings to everybody. You all are here. I'm here with you. Let's get it in. This is where we see no evil, speak no evil, and hear no evil. We keep everything above board. That means we keep it straight. We keep it solid. This is the foundation we're building up on. That's concrete. It's nothing messy about it. All right. There's nothing in this get down to where we're, subjecting our people, or not just subjecting our people to this stuff we see going on, this mess. But we're not even partaking in that, for the most part. It's not for the most part, period. We don't do reaction. We don't sit up and we don't chop brothers down or sisters down. We don't belittle, denigrate, disrespect anybody. Our thing is about the people. I think that's very important to understand about Under the Groove podcast, or when we coming in here Tuesdays and Thursdays, touching bases with the people. Again, this is where we get down with the get down. This is where we focus on the focus. So let's do that. Let's do what we do, how we do best. All right. I see you in here, Queen Nzinga. Appreciate your comments and everything. She said, hey, happy Thursday Eve, my good people. I don't like using that phrase, my good people. That just sounds so much like somebody that, don't mean it, but that's cool. Good. Happy Thursday Eve, my good people in the Royal Group congregation. All right, Lisa Moore. Hey, sister. All right. Peace and blessings to you as well, Queen. You go on to say peace and blessings, King. Love and peace to all the B1s in the chat. And for those who don't know, B1 equals Black First. That's all that matters. All right. Really, that's all that should matters. Just looking at the predicament we in. We need to start caring about ourselves and ourselves only, to such an extent or point to where we can, when we get ours together, then we can start, thinking about others and having them discussions about other people and what they see or how they see us or whatever the case may be. But Lisa Moore, appreciate you. You going to say, hey, sister, Queen Nzinga, blessings to you and the family. All right. Queen said, Lisa Moore, peace and blessings as well. Let's get in this thing, man. I've been on social media, but again, you guys, when I say I'm on social media, I say it to say this. I don't watch the bull crap. I don't. What I will do is allow people to send me, share with me certain links. And based on the title of the link, I will go into the comments, not the video, not the reaction, not any of that. Let me make something clear. The homeboy, I listen to his stuff, depending on what he's talking about. And that's the big fella. For those who don't know, DP, Other than that, I go into the comments and I want to read what the comments are saying in terms of what was dropped. And for me, that gives me a perspective of the people who are watching this channel or this platform, this podcast, and what their opinion is in terms of what's being dropped, what's being said. And I have to say, I gather insight in terms of those who maybe they're subscribers or not, but have something to say about these channels and platforms or podcasts. They're not in agreement with a lot of stuff that is put out over social media. So I do that, like I say, to find out what the percentage of individuals who comment is about for or against what's being put out there to the masses, what's been disseminated to the people. A lot of people are not feeling this stuff. And I've been saying this and I'll continue to say it. We say this, we will continue to say it. It's time to rise up, to wake up. And 2026 is the year of accountability. So let's be accountable in terms of what content is or what type of content we're dropping to the masses. Because you got to know, man, either you're a part of the problem or you're trying to correct the problem. That's just how it goes. All right. Again, for me, it's about reading the comments, because then I get an idea of those individuals who happen to tap in with these podcasts or these channels and what their take on what the situation is. And for the most part, or like I said the other day, there seems to be a growing percentage of individuals coming into these channels, coming onto these channels and podcasts, and they're saying, period, point blank, why are you guys doing this? Grown ass men. Why are you guys doing that? Do you understand, or do you not recognize? Do you even care that you're helping to create or make this situation worse? I don't know if they get it or not, because, well, I don't think they get it, because they continue to drop, certain content that, like I said, it doesn't help the community. It doesn't help the community. And it seems as if they're only doing it to help themselves align their pockets. It makes you wonder, what kind of example of a man are you? Do you have children? Do you have grandchildren? Pretty sure most of you do. Is that the example you want to set for your children as well as your grandchildren? Let's take into account that what's happening on social media in a lot of ways is going to be here for a long time. Once you drop it, it's there. It's there. It's not going anywhere. If you have family, isn't it important, or should be important to you individuals, to the point where, okay, my family, if they don't understand it now, years from now, they'll get it. And, I'll have to explain myself. A lot of you say, I don't give a damn. I ain't got to explain nothing, but the truth of the matter is, will you be able to explain your participation in this medium, this social media thing that's going on, where we're disrespecting brothers. We're talking about issues on social media about brothers and sisters that shouldn't be, discussed. Certain disrespect is out there, shouldn't be out there. Whole lot of it. You run the gambit of what's going on in communities. It's on social media. For the most part, none of it is helpful. None of it is beneficial. None of it empowers brothers and sisters to the point where they can take what's being said from these channels, these podcasts, and utilize it to their benefit. And I mean to their benefit in such a way where it's positive, where it's positively productive, where it's empowering, where it helps the individual to become educated or whatever the case may be in terms of helping to propel a certain excellence, a certain ascension into, something better than what we're used to seeing or who we are used to being. That's what I'm saying. You brothers can't be proud of yourselves, and then if that's the case, you're probably saying, hey, pride ain't got nothing to do with it, it's about the dollars, then that means you lack integrity, and if that's the case, then anybody with some sense ought to know better than to, even partake in anything you putting out there to the masses, because it's all detrimental. It doesn't help the people to evolve, to grow, to mature. It doesn't empower the people, not in the sense of respect that it should. All right. That being said, I want to share something right quick. That'd be my segue to this. And I want to share this with the people, man. I just do. I think it's imperative. I think it's not imperative, but profound. It hits the point. It makes the mark. It speaks for itself. All right. Now check this out.
Hey, yo, check this out. Look, to all the copper colored people in America, all the people that are melanated in America, all the gold skin, all the different shades of brown, all the native people, all the real indigenous folks of America. Do you know your power? Do you know who you truly are? Is it me, or is it that everybody around the world knows our magic, knows our power, except for us? We talk about entertainment, we talk about music, we talk about influence, we talk about culture, we talk about fashion, we talk about inventions. Everybody knows who we are except for us. And it's time for you to open your mind. You don't only have to be an athlete. You don't only have to be an influencer. You don't have to be a singer. You don't have to be dancing. You don't have to be shucking and jiving and doing the bullshit for you to get ahead in life and for you to become something great. Use your mind. Use your voice. Start to let go of all the distractions that's holding you back. The arguments, the combativeness, the lack in communication, the lack of emotional intelligence, the people who live in fear, the people who live in doubt. You not thinking that you are enough. You are more than enough. You are the person that is running this world right now. You can look at your phone in every country, every person, everywhere around the world. They're trying to be like you. They're trying to look like you. They're trying to act like you. So it's time for you to be confident in who you are. It's time for you to take care of yourself. It's time for you to take care of your mental health. It's time for you to take care of your physical health. And it's time for you to take care of your spiritual health, all right? It's time for you to tap in and dig deep and know who you are and stop letting everybody around the world try to tell you who you are. Nah, put your head on principle. Books, go do some searching, go do some researching. But whatever you do, stop walking around today like you are nothing. Stop walking around today like you don't know what you are supposed to do here. Only if you dig deep, only if you tap in, and only if you clear your mind and let the distractions go so you can find out your true power. The power lies within you. Today you know it, today get activated, and today become 1% better, all right?
Power is in the people. All right. Hold tight. Let me go and deal with that right quick. So there that is, man. There that is. And I hope that message, man, resonates with not those who are already mindful of what's going on, who understand or or it's garnering understanding of who they are, what the purpose of that individual or of us as a whole should be. It needs to resonate with those who are doing what they're doing that adds to the issues we see in the streets. We hope that it reaches those brothers and sisters who sit down in front of these cameras on social media and promote and advocate self-destruction, self-hate, gang violence, the tearing down of one brother over another. Look at social media, you guys. Just check it out, man. Brothers are going against brothers who are cool. And this is the way this game is going to be played. So today we might have 2 or 3, 4 brothers that are super cool. Oh, I know him from years back. Da, da, da. A week from now, someone's going to throw some content out there where brother happened to just by chance, by way of speaking, oh yeah, man, that ninja this, oh man, I know that fool, da, da, da. And it gets twisted. And before you know it, these 2 brothers are going at each other. This is the beast, man, at work. We would like for those brothers to get an understanding of how this game is really played. See, because if it's about content, especially the type of content you brothers are dropping, hey man, beware, man. You gonna be content. You will be content. You're not gonna like it. Or you might be playing the game. Who knows? What we're saying is, hey man, look at this, man. Look at what you're doing, man. And how is it not possible that you guys don't see that you could be doing so much better, not just for yourselves, but for the people, for the masses who need it. We need it. So, get aboard what that brother was saying. You guys, after this thing is done, go back, rewind and play it and listen to that brother. And this brother's not saying nothing new. All right. Brothers and sisters have been saying this, especially since we're waking up now. We're becoming more conscious of what the situation really is in terms of how we're involved in it. Come on, man. Y'all got to grasp the meaning of what's really going on. Separate yourselves, man, just long enough to see the harm, the damage, and the detriment you're adding to this situation, man. And that being said, that little clip, I wanted you guys to see that. Now, I want to, on top of that clip, say this. Well, actually, I was saying this before I showed the clip, but are you the example you want your son, your grandson, your daughter, your granddaughter to represent? To see. Are you the example for them to live up to? You know what I mean? Are you the example? What is it that you're dispensing or, not disposing, but giving them in terms of education, in terms of dignity, pride, in terms of identity that they could take with them a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, and utilize it to their benefit? How does any of what you guys are dropping on these podcasts, on these channels, beneficial even to your own? You guys, a lot of you guys are poor examples of men. Let's be straight up, man. Let's be straight up, man. If you can't see the damage you're doing, the harm that you're bringing to the community when the community is already in disarray, man. It's already hurting. It's already doing bad. If you can't see that you're adding to this, that you're making it worse, something's wrong, man. Something's really wrong with you, the individual. Someone said to me today, say, man, it's just about what it's really about is, it's the man in the mirror. It's the man in the mirror. You have self-hate. And you're projecting that self-hate onto your people who look just like you, same people in the mirror. Something's wrong with this, man. Brother said we got to get our mental health right. We have to get our physical health right. We have to get our spiritual health right so that we understand what our purpose is, what we're supposed to be doing. This stuff we see going on, man, I'm telling you, it's an anomaly. It's really not normal. No matter how long we've been doing this, nothing normal about this. It's just not. All right. So that's it. There's that. And there's what I said before that. Are you the example? If not, you should want to be the example, especially in your own family. Especially in your own family. All right. Know what your purpose is, people. Let's get on this, man. Let's get in it. Let's touch bases with the people. That's what we do. This is Under the Groove Podcast. All right. Like, share, and comment. Subscribe if you see fit. We don't twist arms. We don't make nobody do nothing they don't want to do. But we try to speak to the more compass individuals, if one exists. We're trying to speak to what's right in individuals. What we all know, man. Check it out. We might lack a whole lot of things in society, but I guarantee you, man, one thing we don't lack is souls. We have souls. We are a people that feel. We are a people who are emotional. We are people who are very passionate. We are people, though, more than anything else, that is loving. And it's in you to be all that, So there that is. I want to get into these comments, man. Our people are front and center. It's a beautiful thing, man. Again, this is Under the Groove, touching bases with people. Welcome, everybody. Peace and blessings to each and every one. So let's do what we do, y'all. Let's do it how we always do it. Pope Mitchell, what it do, loved one? He say, focus on that focus. What it do, bub? And shout out to the kings and queens in the UTG congregation. This is the Royal Group Congregation. Peace and blessings to everybody, man, that's here. Peace and blessings to those brothers that's just checking it out and not commenting. Peace and blessings to those who haven't even tapped in yet. We sending that energy out, man, in the hopes that it lands on top of you, like rain, get a little sprinkle. You know what I mean? We want it to touch you. We want it to touch you. James Cass said, ECPT in the house. If they ain't down with this almighty black fist, they get socked in the mouth. I'm defending all of my brothers and sisters out here, especially when shit pop off. One, I can dig it. I can dig it. I think, too, though, even when we discuss where we stand in terms of the masses, our people, we like to know, even no matter what, I could pull up on some stuff and I know it ain't right. I don't know who was in the wrong, but I see my people, I'm not gonna be like, man, who did what? Hey, man, I get what you're saying, James. But let's consider, or let's hope that, man, brothers and sisters, man, when they find themselves in situations, man, they're in them not at the cost of them being disrespectful, just inconsiderate, just rude, or whatever the case may be. The point is, man, always carry yourself in such a way to where, hey, man, you exude this. When people see you, they got to know you. There's a certain confidence you have about yourself, a certain, get down. It don't have to be swagger. It could be a certain demeanor where it says, hey, man, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. And if you choose me, if you FAFO, you will FAFO. You know what I mean? So it's just how we carry ourselves, our continence, it's, you know what I mean? So I get it. So, let's look at it like that. Let's hope that brothers and sisters, man, whenever a brother and sister comes to the aid or rescue another brother and sister, it's because they were right. Even sometimes when they're wrong, we're there. But let's hope that brothers and sisters carry themselves in such a way that when something go down, brothers and sisters are supporting somebody who is 100% right. All right. Again, man, I support what you're saying, James. Trust that, though. Trust that. When the dust clears, man, we'll figure it out. All right. You go on to say, man, if all they care about is what the check or the money say, They the same ones who will bend over and get it in the beehole by the master. That becomes theirs once this soul is signed off on and gone. I get it. In other words, if they're willing to sell their soul, man, there's a whole lot of other things they were willing to do. They'll get on social media, they'll get on these platforms, these podcasts and channels and say, I just said it the other night, a lot of them perpetrating the fraud, a lot of them are. Now, if they're willing to do what we see them doing, is there a limit? Is there a limit? I don't think so. So, if they're willing to sell their soul for a jelly roll, trust and know there's a whole lot of other things they'll do that they'll try to keep in the dark, that they probably done and will keep in the dark. But this ain't about bashing dudes, man. This is about trying to get brothers, these same dudes, to see the bigger picture, man. See the bigger picture, And that picture is, man, to not only carry yourself a certain way, in a certain perspective, but to also, man, support the people in that same perspective. If you say you love and respect you, then it would only seem natural for that to spill over, for that to be a part of what you see or how you see your people. You want for them the same thing you want for yourself, So appreciate that comment, James. Alonzo Johnson says, peace to you, James, and to the RGC. I agree with you, brother. You are absolutely correct. I'm pretty sure the majority of us do. The majority of us do. Raymond Skull 102, man, the brother from the Rays, man. He said, greetings, bub, to you, bro, your family, along with the fellows of your community. Peace and blessings to the Royal Group congregation. And likewise, Raymond, peace and blessings to you and the rest of the Raymonds, man. We hoping that brothers, man, are not just staying safe, but elevating, educating themselves so that they can elevate not just themselves, but everybody around them. Yeah, we have what they say, man, we have a movement that is in full effect. I just, what I said, man, I say this quite often. It's just that in some respects, LA haven't got the memo yet, man. And that's sad, being that LA always want to be hooping and hollering about we the Mecca of so many other, so much, If that's the case, how is it that we haven't gotten the memo that brothers are waking up now? Now that it's time to rise up, it's time to have some dignity, some pride, some self-respect. That memo, man, it got lost in the mail. Or I don't know, got discarded because it wasn't a check. I don't know. But hey, man, peace to you, Raymond, man, and the rest of the Rays, man. Like I say, hopefully brothers, man, are elevating as they should. And you don't have to be a brother old head. You could be a young head. You don't have to be a brother that have been through a gang of things, man. You could be a brother, old or young, that haven't been through nothing, but understanding how you want to be a part of this thing, man, that's going to elevate not just yourself, but your people. That's wide open to everybody, man. You don't have to have certain credentials, man, to be a wise brother or a brother about not just himself, but his people. It's in the DNA to be that. It's in your DNA to be every bit of that. So appreciate that comment, though, man. Appreciate it a lot. Alonzo said, peace to you, bub, and yours. Likewise, Alonzo. And I love the fact that a lot of you brothers and sisters are mainstays or figures, personalities through the comments that we see, man, day in and day out, man. That means a lot. And not to me, not to me, but to the movement. To the movement. That's where it counts, man. That's where it counts. So you appreciate it, bro. Like the rest of you brothers and sisters, you are appreciated. James Cass said, I'm a man of righteousness. I know the devil is always playing games, always manipulating and twisting the minds of many innocent lost souls out there. The devil steady recruiting for his gang. Yeah, the devil then created a whole new gang, y'all. It's a mixture of Crips and Bloods, non-affiliateds. They're a big gang now on social media. That's where you find them. That's where they hang at. You know, that's where they hang at. Social media, man. You know, they drink, get high, talk that shit, you know, bang on cats, you know. They doing a lot more, they're doing almost as much damage as actual gangbangers. It's a new gang now. You know, they won't admit it, but it is what it is. Appreciate that comment, James. Alonzo says, man, Alonzo Johnson said, we must get the knowledge of self. It is a must. It's a must to be able to have identity, you know. Once we're educated, and I mean really educated, because I need we all need education, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying this to say this. Once we get and we have education, especially about self, there's nothing no one else can tell us. Not only that, but there's nothing anyone else can do to us. That's what education provides. It provides not just security, you know, not just confidence. It provides a knowledge. It provides a purpose of what we supposed to be doing, not just as individuals, but as a collective, as a unit. Education of self, man, I'm telling you, it would do wonders for each and every one of us. Each community that is suffering from a lack of identity. See, our identity, man, is crazy. Most of our identity is based on the street we grew up on or moved on, or we talking about we represent or die for. That's our identity. It's shallow, man. That's a shallow identity. It has no real substance. It's paper. It's paper thin. When it's especially wet, it means nothing, man. It means nothing. The only time that can mean something is if individuals call themselves partaking in that, come to find out who they are. And once they do, then they understand how to make the community represent what they are and what they're about. The community also takes on an identity other than some street shit, some gang shit. The community begins to grow, it begins to mature, prosper, you know? The community, it becomes so strong that there'll be no need for LAPD or sheriffs or anybody else to police your communities because the community got it. Don't need them. That's what identity would do. You know, that's just part of it, you know. Knowledge of self, man. Yeah, it's paramount. Very important. It's very important. You know. Anthony Antonio, one love, man. One love. Appreciate you in this get down, brother. All right. Raymond Skull says, how do we get around these distractions that prevent our focus on our powers? Education. Education. See, the same way that we will sit down, a lot of us will sit down and watch social media to educate us, would be the same way that you would pick up a book or go to some site that can dispense knowledge and education to you. And knowledge and education, not just from any old body, but from your own people. I think that's the start. That's the start. The catalyst to change, man, is education. It's education, man. This is how we change things. This is how we mature. You know, this is how we get hold of identity. And this is how we start pushing, man, to certain greater. We start not only excelling, but ascending. That's the truth, man. How do we get around these distractions that prevent our focus on our powers? By re-educating ourselves, by not allowing certain things we know to be detrimental. We know, again, man, y'all go to any of these podcasts or these channels and read the comments. Read what's being dropped in the comments. We get past this, man, by educating ourselves, man, by not allowing certain things in here. Don't let nobody rent no space, man, especially when it's detrimental. We've had enough losses, man, enough hurt, grief and trauma. Oh, man, we could change this. This is nothing to change. We just have to be willing to do it. It's, probably easier said than done for a lot of individuals to say, okay, all right, to get rid of distraction, I'm going to start educating myself. A lot of us are addicted to this stuff the same way we're addicted, a lot of us, to drugs, alcohol, tobacco, a whole lot of other things, But when you're fighting something that's toxic in you, when it's not beneficial to you, we're going to pull out all stops, man. We got to do what we got to do. If it's little by little, then that's what we do. We chip away at it. We chip away at it. I have to say this, man, and just an example for all them brothers and sisters who were addicted to crack cocaine, right? And any other drug that was devastating, not just to their health, but the mental health as well, the spirit, the soul, the family, all those people who came back from that. Ask them for advice. How did they do it? How did they do it? Focus, man, on what's real, what matters. These distractions don't matter, man. Again, they don't help us. They don't help us in the least. The world is going on, is happening right now, and we're oblivious to what's happening in the world because we're distracted on this stuff, man, that's so minute. It's so trivial. It's frivolous. It's not important at all. And that's how those that run everything want it to be. Y'all got to, why is this happening like this? It's a reason. It's being done to intentionally distract us. One thing about black folk, man, I'm telling y'all, and y'all know, once we get something in art and we understand the wrong in it, the injustice, and oh, hey, man, we don't just act up. We finna change some shit. They don't need us to recognize the injustices. This greater than Rodney King. This is greater than all that stuff, man. It's bigger than our survival. It's bigger than our existence, man. It's about our place in the world. That's what it's about. And see, our place in the world is on the top. They're pulling out all stops to make sure we don't get to our righteous spot on top. Man, this shit is not rocket science, man. It's about brothers just willing to say, okay, man, let me make a change for the better. Because it's not just affecting me. It's affecting my family. And I mean the black family. I mean the melanated family on a whole. Not just your kids. Not just your kids. All of us. These distractions exist for a reason, man. It's to make sure we do not ascend. That's simple, man. Everybody know it but us. Everybody know our righteous place, man, in the world but us. How do we get past these distractions? Start opening our eyes. Start using that third eye, man. Stop and question things, man, that you know, man, when it don't feel right in your gut, in your core. Address it. Stop allowing the hurt, man, and the pain. We've all suffered. There's no one community that didn't suffer any more than the other. We're all on an even keel right here, man. Trust me. No one's winning. We all have the same hurt, the same pain, the same trauma, same anger. And it's all focused on us. We focus it on each other. That's the anger, the hurt, pain, the trauma. They don't want us to focus on the system or them. Be hell to pay. And start focusing, man, where the focus need to be. Getting ourselves right. We have to get ourselves right so that the family, that the unit, the melanated family can get it together. It's going to take each and every one of us, man. And again, we know some people don't give a damn about not just what I'm saying, but what's being said. You know, that's nothing new either. That's nothing new. But for those of us who feel it in our cores, who know it in our souls, we got to work, man. We got to put in the work. And we have to be the ones to bring and drop in front of the people these jewels that'll help them focus on what's really valuable, what wealth is really about. To combat this stuff, man. To combat all these distractions. It's all work, man. And it's hard. Some hard work. Appreciate that comment, Raymond. Voodoo, he says, in our DNA, we have the God gene, man. We have the God gene. And people trying to kill the gene, man. They trying to kill God. For those of you who understand this stuff and trust in it, have confidence that it's real, that the higher power anointed us. Hey, man, y'all supposed to be putting in more work than anybody. They trying to kill God and make it in their image. You know what I mean? There's some crazy stuff going on, man. They are attempting to prevent God's wisdom and plan from coming into fruition. A lot of us are going right along with it, though. Again, man, we can only blame others so far. At what point do we start taking responsibility? At what point do we become accountable? If we all know better. I don't think there's one ignorant soul, and that's not disrespectful when you use the word ignorant. I don't think there's one ignorant black soul out there that don't know no better, man. Even the ones that's doing the dirt. Trust me, it's in their souls. It's in their core. They know because it's in the DNA. They got the same ancestors as the rest of us, man. The ancient ones, the ancestors speak to them as well. Their grandmas, their great-grandmas, grandpa, great-grandpa. Got the same message, man. They get the same vibe, man, that same energy. Trust me, it ain't no different, man. It's all the same thing. We come from the same thing. It's that God gene, man, at work and speaking through the ancestors through us, man. That's just what it is. Appreciate you, Vu. One love, homie, respect. Raymond Scholes says, I'm at work, but is in the group. I mean, go without saying, homie. That's what a lot of us do. I'm at work now. I'm at work. As are you. And I don't mean Gilmore. You in this get down, man. This is work, man. We have to get it in, bro. We have to get it in whenever we have the opportunity. Again, we have to understand and recognize these blessings. We got to stop looking for these Mount Everest blessings and start looking at this, you know, the nose and the hills, the small blessings, the small ones. So that when it come time for Mount Everest, man, to land, you know what, we appreciate the blessings. See, we want to appreciate ascending to the top right now, being on top of the world right now. Well, man, we would probably kill the world off when that's not our work. That's not our purpose. It's to save the world. But we can't do it, man, if we aren't willing to save ourselves. Part of getting to that, man, is understanding and accepting those blessings, man, that seem just barely recognizable. Again, when we say grand rising, that's the first one of the day. And a lot of us, man, we disregard it. We don't appreciate it. That blessing is wasted, man. Got a lot of work to do, y'all. Got a lot of work to do. You know, real spit, man. A lot of work. Yeah, Raymond Skull, man. Yeah, you do the work, bro. Stay working. Stay busy. You know? Hey, man, we in this, man. We got to be. Okay, Alonso Johnson said all the information is inside of us. Again, Voodoo just said it's our DNA. We got something a lot of people on the earth don't have, and especially in the capacity that we have it. That thing right here. They call it the third eye. At least those who are spiritual and soulful, we know what it is. That's for that melanin thing. That's that activation. You know what I mean? Hey, man, we're not utilizing that, man. We don't appreciate it. We have to start appreciating that, man, because the information is there. It's there. All right. James Cash said, love, respect, and power to the kings and queens and the RGC. Under the Groove is one. You need to be one, man. Us. The melanated people, man. Us. I was just talking to the brothers in Texas today. I'm gonna get these comments, y'all, because everybody in here, man. I see the brother Yisrael in here. I got that right. For I had to go and hey, man, get mine right, man, for you, brother. No disrespect, man. I apologize, man. Also to the loved one, the homie, for butchering. You know, I'm not. So that, you know, boom. All right. Anyway, I was talking to the brothers in Texas, man, and they just, hey, man, you know, we on some more shit now. We're about the people. I want to see how true that is, you know. But again, Texas is nothing like LA in terms of this mess. You know what I mean? But just to hear the brothers saying, hey, man, you know what? This is what we own. We're on empowering ourselves and finding positivity in our lives, individually as well as collectively, in order for us to get our shit right. That's a blessing just to hear that. The seed is planted, you know, and we're all farmers. We're all gardeners. We're all into agriculture. We should be all about growth, productivity, producing something, man, that's going to, you know, benefit the people, that's going to nourish the people. It's all work, man. But the brothers in Texas said, man, this is what we own. That's all right. But we want to come sit home. I said, yeah, I'll be there. But you know what? Let's keep it above board. I'm in the supposedly the Mecca. And it's supposed to be, man, we so off track down here, man. I would be remiss to leave California, Los Angeles, to go to Texas and talk about what's going on there. Not to say that's a bad thing. Appreciate, love that you're doing it. My work is here first. We're trying to get it done here first. And brothers in Texas, man, keep doing what y'all doing. Keep doing what y'all doing. Y'all are the example. You know, brothers down south, get together. Y'all are the example. See, we behind. We behind right now, man. So there that is, man. All right, Poke. You already know, homie. You already know. James Cass said, "Black is the mind as black is the soul. You must come to realization with oneself to understand those around you who came from the same. I prefer black food, black music, black business, black love, black unity." You know, and in some instances, and I'm pretty sure they'll come up, black aggression, black passion, black dignity, black pride. It's all relevant. It's all relative, you know? Appreciate you, James. Appreciate you. Yisrael, shalom, family, much love and utmost respect. Right back to you, brother. Shalom. I appreciate you, man. All right? I really do. Appreciate you. James says, men and women hold the power. Understand your beauty and recognize your abilities to influence and inspire. The way brothers walk is how the rest of them try to walk, just like the way we talk. CPT. Again, hey, man, we're in a situation where the world mimics us and yet despise us. Put us on pedestals, entertainment, sports, a whole lot of things, but can't stand us. Why is that? I don't think that that's a natural hatred for us. I think that's something they learn from us. They see us hating each other. So they copy everything we do. So well, the blacks is ninja this, be that, and move. I mean, yeah. Learn behavior, man. Learn behavior. Yeah. Learn behavior. So, yeah, they own what we own. Thank you. They own what we own. That's just the reality. James going to say everything, brothers and sisters, everybody else, everything, brothers and sisters, everybody else try to mimic and replicate them. Okay, good. But we can never be duplicated by the imitators. Fuck the fakers, the haters, and the ones who jock, brothers and sisters. Again, and yeah, I agree. But here it is, this 2026, let's be accountable. Let's be accountable. All right. Let's recognize, let's first acknowledge that could we allow this, man? We've allowed this. We haven't attached ownership to nothing the world do or imitates about us. Guess who will? Guess who does? Everybody but us. They think that these people, a lot of them feel entitled because they think they know so much about us. They live a lifestyle, they talk like it, walk like it, like you just said. And so in their minds, they own it. It's theirs because we haven't placed or stamped ownership on nothing. Yeah, we bring all kind of stuff into effect. We make shit happen. We're not owning it, though. We don't own the rap industry, the music industry, the athletic system. All those things with other ethnicities are super rich off of, man. They're super rich off us. Let's stop pointing the finger and let's start getting to a point where we are recognizing where we're going wrong at and start correcting a lot of shit. Start correcting those issues, man, that won't exist, based upon the fact, okay, this is ours. We're going to take ownership of it. And so that issue goes away in terms of others saying, oh, this is ours. Or it wouldn't be this or that without us. No. We have to take ownership, man. And we got to stop pointing fingers at people who are doing exactly what we're doing, what we're showing them to do. We're showing them this stuff, man. 2026, man, accountability. Accountability. James say, man, black is one of a kind. Black is where life starts. Period, point blank. Alonzo Johnson said, you're absolutely right, James. Darkness is the beginning and the end. And you go on to say, Alonzo, life comes out of darkness. All right. James Counter with love you, brother Bub, and love to your queen, your beautiful queen. Sending my best wishes and blessings to you and your family, your homies, and all loved ones. I appreciate you always. Thank you for this platform. This channel, this podcast, again, James, and just go for everybody. You already know we are not just the energy, and I don't mean me and my wife. We, the Royal Group Congregation, is the energy and the fuel. It's our car, man. We're supposed to drive this thing wherever the hell we want to take it. Wherever we want to take it. It's big enough for everybody. Again, I appreciate you guys as much as you say you appreciate me. That's the truth. James going to say 1,000%, Alonzo Johnson. Love you, my brother. I hope you're having a good day. Best wishes and blessings. I appreciate you, cuzzo. Happy Thursday. Stay up and stay strong, black man. There you go. And that's that love extended right back from Alonzo. I appreciate you, my brother, and nothing but love to you and your family, loved one. All right. Thank you. Okay. James says, thank you all as well as can be. And I send my love to everyone out there in every neighborhood and city. Someone somewhere is struggling with something right now, but they're not alone. Again, man, this is a fight we're all familiar with. We got something in common, especially the struggle. Like I said, hurt, pain, man, trauma, we got all that. And then at the same time, man, what we do have, what we know we have, we find some joy out of pain, man, out of trauma. We could put some music on, man, and our demeanor, our souls would shift and change. Come on, man. We all in the same boat, man. And we've said this. Some of us have paddles. Some of us have oars. Few of us might have outboard motors, but we all in the same boat. We have something in common. Our life experiences, man. The injustices, man, that, living life has heaped on our shoulders, man. A lot of us know poverty, lack of education, or being miseducated. Again, hurt, pain, disrespect. A lot of us know self-hate, self-loathing. Come on, man. The signs are there, man. None of us is in this alone. It's not possible to think that someone, especially a melanated complexion, is on an island by themselves. Not possible. We have this world in common. Everything we go through and experience on this thing, man, we have it in common. Those who came before us and those who came before them. We have a commonality, man. And based on, man, is all the reason we need. Bring this shit together, man. Get it together. Just get it together, man. James, you're going to say, Bub, what did you want to be growing up as a youngster? There you go. That's nice. Was there anything you would have aspired to be, a career or profession, whatever it may have been? I asked because I'm looking for my purpose. Hey, man, growing up, so A lot of people don't know, a lot of homies know, a few homies know, I was a pretty good artist. I draw anything, you know. My grandmother invested in that, you know, bought me art supplies and stuff, oil paints, easels, everything, you know, encouraged me to draw. I don't know if I told the story. I won an art contest at Lauren Miller, sixth grade, and the artwork. And I didn't do well. I did majority of the artwork. There's another brother. He was a pretty good artist. I'm trying to remember his brother's name, man. Probably was Steve or something like that. We were the best artists in the school. Anyway, we did this piece, man, and it had, back then, we were still being misled and, all this stuff. Anyway, the piece consisted of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, go figure, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Sojourner Truth. It was a mural. It was a mural we did. We in the sixth grade, man. Anyway, it was a contest, and this was in 1975, 75, maybe 76. Anyway, it got to LAX, where the art exposition, the competition was, and it won first place. It won first place. And I had been drawing ever since. Brothers who were my cellies would tell you it's draw all kind of shit, put it on the wall. From airplanes to the galaxy. Just the skeletal system, the muscle system. Just a little shit I used to do. But one of my things was when I was growing up was to be an artist. I love animals. A lot of people around me, they may not be able to tell because I got an issue with squirrels being in my orange tree, wasting all that fruit. But anyway, I love animals. You know what I mean? I probably tell you a whole lot about animals. My brother and I, could have been veterinarians. You know what I mean? Actually thought about being, a revolutionary, community activist. I think I'm living that, calling that, so to speak. I'm not as deep into it as I'd like to be, as I will be. But yeah, I think that was something that was brought to me because of my mom. She was a Panther. So, I understand, I want to see, our people do better. I want to see a society, a world that we live in where we have something to do with ending police brutality. I know that from a young age. Police brutality, man. From before I was a teenager, I know police brutality. And it never sat well with me. But those were just a few of the things I wanted to be as a young one. I wanted to be the best father that it could ever be. I missed that mark. That fucks with me to this day. There is something about a father not being in your life that will affect your life. I trust that. I trust that, So yeah, man, it's a few things, there are a few things. Those were just some of them. So, whatever your desire is, bro, in terms of your ambitions, whatever your soul speaks to you in terms of what it's going to be, something you're pleased with doing or being. That's something you got to take up, with your soul. And you got to, you got to explore. You know what I mean? You got to explore, bro. So that when you find your niche, you don't have no problem with it. You ain't gonna have no problem with it. And it won't be a niche or something that you enjoy doing, love doing, because it's gonna make you rich, so to speak. Yeah, that is, man. I want to be an athlete. I used to shoot hoop. I'm pretty good at basketball. I think, I got a few haters, but Yeah, I was pretty good at basketball, pretty good at football. I come from a family of athletes. One thing, revolutionaries, activists, athletes, educators. I had a young brother, man, rest in peace, was the next Deion Sanders, man. You know, you know, Barry Bonds. Football and baseball was his bad dude. He was recruited, which they were trying to get him. But yeah, mm, I wanted to be an athlete at one time. Yeah, I actually wanted to be a Marine. But this was after the fact. Well, I get out of youth authority and I was threatened. Either you're going to the Marines or we're gonna put you back in jail. And I okay, put me in jail, and I went back to jail. But I think as I was growing, I wanted to be that because I wanted to learn some things. You know what I mean? I wanted to learn military type shit. You know what I mean? How to understand, certain warfares or whatever. That's what it was. And I also knew that if I had went in there, I'd have rose to the whatever that was, whatever the highest echelon in the Marines was, Delta, whatever, I'd have been there. But those were just some of my goals and desires, aspirations as a youth. Now, man, and I'm speaking to now, it is, to serve the people. I've served myself, man, and I'm telling you, I have a certain disappointment in what I've done with my life, but not to the point where, man, I'm moping and I'm complaining and I'm bitter, but to the point where, man, I owe people, I owe our people. I just owe myself. Like I said, I'm already spent mine, I owe my wife, I owe my family, my immediate family as well as my extended family. You know what I mean? My desire, my goals, my aspirations now to serve the people, serve my wife and my family, and to serve the people. Those are my goals. That's what I aspire to do. That's what I will do. But yeah, there it is, man. For you, it's just about, man, again, getting to the point where you delving into certain things or interest to a point where that searching, that yearning for understanding and purpose, man, to come to you, and you'll find that thing, man, that's going to put you where you need to be, or put you where your heart wants you to be, your soul or your higher power wants you to be, and it is, man. Anyway, so Raymond Scholes said, man, with all of the issues happening in the world, right? Polk says, my grandma, who is black and who raised me, said you should always show respect. So why is it so hard for black people to respect each other? Again, man, that's conditioning. That's learned behavior, bro. It's learned behavior. Look, man, look at what we've been through. Look at what we've been through. Learned behavior. Most of us run around saying the N-word. Where we get that from? Most of us run around killing one another. Where we get that from? Most of us run around disrespecting our women. Where we get that from? Disrespecting our men. Where we get that from? Having babies and not caring about them. Where we get that from? Impregnating sisters and not giving a damn about where we get that from? It's learned behavior, man. But again, at some point, we have to take responsibility. We have to be accountable for what we're doing and what we know is wrong that we're doing. We can point the finger all we want. I mean, it's common knowledge, man, what's been done to us. But at what point do we say, okay, man, let me get off this horse, kick it in his ass and send it back to where it comes from? All this stuff is learned behavior, man. You know, we're mimicking, like people are mimicking us. We mimic what was done to us by others, man, and we extract and exact that on each other. This is what we do because this is what we learn to do, man. You know, that doesn't have to be though, you know, it doesn't have to be. A conscious effort has to be made to where we're going to change our mindsets, change, you know, through our changing our mindset, we change our behavior, you know, through our mindset evolving and growing, you know, we change not just what we think, but what we say as well as what we do. That's to get down, man. A lot of us are suffering. And here's another truth. A lot of us are suffering from arrested development. That's the mental aspect of it, you know. We don't have to, though. It's by choice now that a lot of us do the shit we do. All right. Peace to you, though, Pope. Always. Raymond Scholes said, man, that was an incomplete statement on my keyboard. My keyboard's tripping. Man, we all go through that, bro. Don't worry about it. James said, man, I love all my brothers. I love all my Hoovers. I have a soft heart for the bangers and gang members simply because I've been surrounded by it my whole life. I sympathize and empathize. One. And I got a commentary for that, and I'll probably give it to you in a little bit. Let me catch up on some of these comments, but hold that thought because I do want to address that. Polk says, to me, Under the Groove is therapy for the people. Again, I thank you because it's definitely needed. I appreciate that, Polk. Really do. James said, love to everyone, even the squares and those just living on in honesty, 9 to 5 type of life. I don't trip off that. Do you and get yours how you got it, how you got to, excuse me. My biggest problem is those not down with unity. Yeah. Queen Nzinga says, Poke, man, it soothes the soul where like-minded people can share experiences and come together as one. Be one. Black first, y'all. James said the idiots and buffoons doing the fuckery need to go. The mindless chaos and drama needs to cease. We've been had enough of that. Nobody getting any younger, and I'm growing up, not just growing old. And that's the thing, man. I'm telling you, we continue to grow to the time we die. We continue to learn, you know, and I don't necessarily mean grow in the physical sense. You get as you get older, you get buffer, you get more healthy, But we continue to grow mentally, man, spiritually, you know, even in some respects, in health wise, you know, in a healthy sense. But you're gonna always grow in some form or fashion or some aspect or another to the day that it's over. We continue to grow through education every day. At least we should, you know, at least we should. We should continue to grow every day spiritually, soulfully, or at least we should. If you know, just think about that, man. We're gonna grow, we're gonna mature, we're gonna come into a lot of knowledge, man, until the day we go. So continue, bro. Continue growing up, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it. James says, thank you, Queen Nzinga, for much love and the utmost respect to you and yours, Queen. I appreciate you to the fullest. Happy Thursday with nothing but best wishes and blessings your way. One. Yeah, man, we have something special here. We have, but see, let me rephrase that. We have what's supposed to be. You know what I mean? You know, and I'm not saying that to say to put us on some pedestal or, you know, higher than anybody. No, man, we are all that. All of us, we're all that. You know, We are all that. So if you want to label it special, then we are. If God willing to give us part of his, that DNA, blessed with, yeah, then we are. We're all that, man. That's all I'm saying. So, hey. James says, brothers and sisters, get it together. Make the future better so that the ones coming up after us can live a peaceful, comfortable, and prosperous life, even if we never got to. Let the youth succeed. There it is there, man. Raymond Scholes said, man, what I was about to say in my last comment was that there is so much power in unity. Thank you. There's power in unity. We were just talking about this the other night, man. There's power in unity. Thank you for saying that, Raymond. He goes on to say, look at how much money our Somalian brothers and sisters work the U.S. out of. Billions. And they did. And they did. They united for the cause. They did that. And Trump and them are hot. Look at how hot they are, man. Look how they react to that shit. Money. This is what money do, though. They're not just deputized, and they are weaponizing, man. Shit. Well, it's already been weaponized. Hatred and racism always been weaponized. But they killing people now. And I said this, man, there ain't no good gonna come from this. It's gonna trigger some shit. But them brothers and sisters, now this is a double-edged sword, and I have to mention this for the sake of mentioning it. Yeah, them brothers and sisters, man, they did that, man. They got that money, man. They did, hey, boom, bang, bing. But at the same time, now they got issue with us here. They got a lot of, I don't know why that is, you know what I mean? But imagine, had they passed that game to the next state, and blacks say, okay, here's our reparations. Man. And they did this for years. They fleeced the government for years. You got some countries don't have that type of budget, in them amount of dollars. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Real sick, But yeah, man. Yeah. They united for a cause. Again, we didn't get the memo, man. We ain't getting the memos, man. Something happening to somebody is not delivering these memos, man. We and the Somalians, yeah, they had an issue. America went over there and done something to them about a couple of decades ago, and they made a movie out of it. All right. They make movies out of everything that they didn't put us through here in America. We still ain't got their ass like that. Man. Yeah, let's unite for the cause, man. Appreciate that, Raymond. Appreciate that. Yep. James said, when you get to a certain point in life, you start living for others. You already know what you got to do for self. But focusing on those who look just like you around you is a key fundamental to live. Yeah, I get it. Alonzo Johnson said, you're absolutely right, Bub. We have to say enough is enough. All right, J Rod 5135. You say, I'ma tune in. Appreciate that, brother. And don't just tune in, share it. All right. Hit that like button, share it. Comment, man, when you feel good enough, you feel confident, you know what I'm saying, that this is the place for you to be. Come on in, man. Subscribe if you see fit. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday nights. This is Under the Groove Podcast, man. And this is what we call touching bases with the people. This is where we keep everything above board. We keep it straight, man. It's solid, man. The foundation of it is solid. This is where we hear no evil, we speak no evil, we see no evil. But hey, we get down with the get down, all right? Because we're focused on the focus. Appreciate you in here, J-Rod. Appreciate you, brother. Peace and blessings to you and yours, all right? Hope to see you in here more often. All right? Yeah. Israel says, man, the solution is Hosea. I hope I said that right. Hosea chapter 3, put my soul on it. Can you look that up? Yeah, I want to hear that. And then text it to me. Oh, you did already. Oh, you were way ahead of me. Can you text that to me? Thank you kindly. Alonzo Johnson said, man, this chat stay kicking real ish and love. That's what it's about, bro. But I'm gonna tell you again, it's because who's in it. It's because who's in it. And who didn't buy into something, but who came to bring something to it. You know, we look, man, and again, I don't say this disrespectfully to anyone, you know, that might be from a community different from the one I come from, but a groove is a vibe, man. That's what it is. It's a vibe. And that's what melanated people do, y'all. Vibe. They vibe, man. You know, we are frequency people, man. We on frequencies and vibes, y'all. That's just what it is. Appreciate you though, brother. Poke, I like this comment, man. You said, James, man, much respect to you. The reason why unity is so hard for us is because we don't share the same purpose. I grew up Crip on Crip, but it took prison life for me to understand. Continue. Poke said, to understand that when we went together, to understand that when we went against other races in order to win, sometimes it took all men on deck. Tell the truth. Well. Here's a guy. I miss you, brother. And you got to know that, man. Peace to the gods, man. And I check you out, man. I see you on TikTok, man, with the babies, man, the young kings and queens. You are a prime example of what a father should be. All right. Said, man, I love you, homie. I always have and I always will. I respect you. All right. Good to see you, man. Good to see you in this get out. One love, brother. All right. There we go. All right, the homie. Peace to the panel, man. This is the Royal Group Congregation. And this is where, like I say, man, we focusing on the focus and we get down with the get out because we're doing it as we should. All love, man. All love. Akin. All right. Peace to the guys, man. Blessings. That's how that stuff happened, man. That's how they come. That's how they come, man. You got to recognize them when you see them, y'all. Even when they small, man, when you appreciate them, they're huge. They're huge. Peace to the gods. All right. All right, the homie. Right back to you. Peace to the loved one, man. All right. Yeah. James, man, says, man, nothing but respect and love to Poke, man. I appreciate you, King. I appreciate you, King. Best wishes and blessings you and your family and loved ones. All right. The homie, man. The homie says, did you and the queen watch The Boy in the Striped Pajamas? No, not yet. Not yet. We will. Just take my word for it. We will. All right. I had to get my mind right, man, on a few things. You know, like I was saying to you brothers and sisters, you kings and queens, gods and goddesses the other day. A lot of stuff, you know, I had to prepare for it. You know, psychologically, I had to get ready for it, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, with The weekend is here. Happy Thursday, everybody. Tomorrow's Friday, man. Let's be safe. Let's do what we do. Let's enjoy life. Let's enjoy ourselves and then each other's company, man. All right. But yeah, this weekend, man, you know, this is what we do. We use the weekend Sundays, especially. We watch movies. We binge on movies. Well, at least she do. Whatever comes on the TV, you know, we sit down with the popcorn or whatever, man, you know, the fruit, you know, the cantaloupe, whatnot. Yeah, I got to go on and, you know, I watch what she watch. And now and then I might get one in, you know. And now and then. But yeah, we will discuss that though, bro. Trust me, we're gonna watch it. Okay, Queen Nzinga says, good to see you back here, my brother. You were missed. Much love. She's talking about our king. Man, yeah. Peace to the guys. All right. James said, man, peace to all of the Crips, the Hoovers, the Pyrus, the Bloods, and all other brothers and sisters in conflict amongst their own. Come to accept with your wrongs and disagreements. Come to acceptance, excuse me, with your wrongs and disagreements. That's right, man. Like I said, one of the things I recognize in the community that we lack in the communities is communication. You know, not just an acceptance of it, but an understanding of what it can do and how it can help us along. We lack, you know, communicative skills. You know, there's a lot of, we lack respect, not just for self, but for each other. I think that if brothers and sisters would allow communication to really do what it means, we'll gain some ground. You know, we'll get a lot done. We'll accomplish a lot more. You know, in fact, we'll probably do it a lot quicker than, you know, those who, the prevailing thoughts of those who think that it's going to take a long, long time. Communication is key, y'all. And I'm telling y'all, we have the basis for, you know, positive communication. You know, we are all, we all have something in common. Each and every one of us. And again, it's starting from our melanin. It starts there, you know, our experiences. There's a commonality, man, in us. All right. But communication, man, is something that is key. It's something I'm pretty sure we can all be, you know, be involved in. We can get a lot more done if we just decide to communicate. All right. That's it. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Whoa, whoa. Again, though, and when we're talking about, see, we have to be the examples. And I think that's part of it as well. We have to be the example, man. Even when we are disagreeing, communication can only work, though, if we allow it to do what it's supposed to do, what its definition is, you know? So we can agree to disagree. That's fine. But let's be able to communicate in order to do that. You know what I mean? And then, you know, we can, hey man, you go your way, go, but it's still respect and it's still love. You know, no one's gonna lose a life over this, a tooth, you know, anything, you know what I mean? Or respect, you know, because communication is not going the way we want to go. We got to understand the real basis and the real purpose of communication. Let's get that locked in, man. And we're going to accomplish a lot. We'll be able to get a lot more done. Yeah. Polk says, man, my brother, and you're speaking to James. I feel duped that Crip meant something different before my turn came. More of us grew up as I did, Crip on Crip, and I'm 55 now. That's why it hurts so much when you finally get it and know that it was all wrong. Any support from any of my brothers, I will always respect. Yeah, and that's something right there, Poke, that you mentioned that. And I was saying I was going to get to this comment, you know, some comments up or, you know, behind us. Oh, No good came from it, bro. You know, just, what what it what it represented wasn't good. You know, it just wasn't good, man. Like I said, I spoke with a reputable off the east side from East Coast, and he put it as blunt as I'm putting it. He way blunter. He said it was just gang banging in general, not just Crip, but blood as well. It's destructive. Straight up, it's destructive. You know, so think about that. Yeah, it was destructive. There was nothing constructive, um, or positively constructive or constructural about it. When we look at it, man, especially those of us who were duped. You know, um, I again, I can't point to nothing that as a participant in it that was good about it. Let's just, let's keep it a pound, man. Let's keep it real. You know, every aspect of it, everything about it was detrimental. Not just to others, but to myself. So, and yet, for those of us who survived it, as well as those of us who survived it and it's doing something redemptive in terms of, what the damage was that we brought to the table or committed in the communities, man. As far as those of us who have changed their lives and don't profess to be a game banger and active, non-active, any of that, man, there's some good in that, man. Because if you look at it, I'm an individual. For example, I'm an example. I know the community I come from. I know that what I did as a representative of that community wasn't nothing good about that shit. Now, as an adult, after having went through a whole lot and took others through a whole lot, I see where I need to, not make adjustments. I've done that already, but to make amends. I see where I need to make amends and why I need to make those amends, or, find redemption in my actions. Now, that's the only good thing came from it. You know what I mean? It's the only good thing came from it. I love my community, but I ain't with the BS. I ain't with the BS, man. If I have something I can impart to those that are just in it, knee deep or whatever, hey man, ain't no good gonna come from it. If there's something I can impart to them, that would help them, it would be this. Ain't no good gonna come from it, bro. Straight up. Straight up. Ain't no good gonna come from it. And again, I've said this and I'll say it again and again. You could be from the community you from. You could be a Hoover. You could be a Blood, a Crip, whatever, man. But you can also be that on a whole different plane, whole different mindset. You could be that with the community in mind in terms of positivity. You can be that Hoover. You could be that Crip, that Blood, that leaves the community to go get some education and comes back with that education and help it. Bring some positivity to it. Bring something that's going to uplift the community. You can decide to say, hey, man, I'm not with this aspect of it. In fact, I want to change this aspect of it to this because this is better than this. This serves the people better than this. This doesn't harm the people. It helps the people better than this. Again, man, you know, the world is full of, it takes all kinds of people. You know what I mean? People. But my advice to anybody, man, but mainly to the community I come from is, man, go get education, man. Don't learn a trade, man. Learn a skill. Learn something that's gonna be lifelong. Learn something that's gonna bring not just to you and your family, but your community positivity, prosperity, unity, and love. You know, but what y'all involved in right now is devoid of all that. What you're involved in right now has nothing to do with anything I just named. Period. Period. You know, again, I love my community, but I see my community, man, on some downward spiral shit. You don't own nothing over there. Nothing over there. And younger and younger, the brothers and sisters get over there. Younger and younger, I'm noticing that brothers and sisters over there, they're getting involved in these drugs and shit at a younger and younger age. That's what I mean to say. So already, man, they headed downward. You know, Xing out their own futures. Very few of us from any community have come up out that community, man, in such a way that they were able to come back and uplift the community. Very few. So, yeah, we a lot of us were duped. You know, but how do we, atone for that? You know, how do we redeem ourselves? How do we help the community? That's the question. That's the question. Alonzo said, man, who knew OG Bub is an artist? And I'm just Bub, y'all. But that's cool. I appreciate you, Alonzo. He said, who knew Bub is an artist? That is beautiful. My uncles could draw anything. Was so talented. Yeah, man. Hey, craziest thing, man. I'm trying to remember what I started out drawing first. I think it was a motorcycle. No, I take that back. Because like I said, we grew up on dirt bikes, riding dirt bikes. I had a love for dirt bikes. And back then we used to call them put togethers, and no matter how you got the part, you put the bike together. But I drew a bike how I wanted my dirt bike to look, Next thing I know, I drew a dude on the dirt bike, and my mom's that recognized, she said, dang boy, I know you can draw like that, Then I started drawing animals and shit, horses and dogs and cats and birds and shit, Who would have thunk it, Who would have thunk it, man? Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, Poke. You say your homeboy Devil 74 was a good artist. I hope he's doing okay. Tell him I send my utmost love and respect. But yeah, Devil had a hand, man. Devil still has it. Yes, man. He kept drawing, he kept drawing. And like I said, so do I, but not to that extent. I drew, like I said, anyway, yeah, Devil could draw, man. He still, man, we talked about that too, man, before he got sick, man. Devil can draw. Yeah, and peace and love to him as well. Blessings as well to the loved one. Shouts out to Big Dev, man. Yeah. We all should want to see our people do good, do great, not good. See, again, man, I think there's a difference between good and great. And when we spoke about great earlier, it was based on the fact that we got the DNA of greatness. We got the God gene. So there's nothing wrong with wanting to see melanated people do great things or continue to do great things. Again, look throughout history. Look all throughout history. We're there, right? Pioneers, the pathfinders, the inventors, the innovators, the creators, great things. We're not removed from that, man. You know, man, I'd be wrong to say we're far removed from that. And that would be wrong to say that. We're still in this, man. We're in the forefront still. Great things, man. Great people. We would not be able to do none of what we're doing right now if it wasn't for melanated people. I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know that. This laptop, you know, and all this stuff we doing, these cell phones, a lot of people don't even know that. Great things. We're known to excel, man. Oh, yeah. Okay, Alonzo, let me catch this because I like that comment right there. Let me read it over. Who knew Bub is an artist? That is beautiful. My uncles could draw anything, was so talented. And you go on to say, you're not bitter like Denzel in the movie Fences. He was super bitter. Yeah. Hey, man, I watched that movie and I couldn't understand it, man. But yeah, that should have killed you quicker. Nah, man. I don't know where I get it from. I be smiling, man. I be like, man, don't know the half of it, man. You know, I appreciate where I am. I do. I appreciate where I am. Appreciate my wife. You know, appreciate my family. I appreciate my life. I appreciate brothers and sisters like you guys, you know, yourselves, man, to come in and chop it up, sit with me and sit with us, each other, and do this. Man, I ain't got time to be bitter, man. And trust and know we all got a reason. If we wanted to be bitter about something, we could be. But see, that's the makeup, you know, that's the character of real individuals, man. When we push past that, we don't have to be bitter. It's a choice. And I think bitter, man, it cuts us off at the knees. It thwarts our development, our creativity. It kills our love, our joy. Shit. Nah. Polk says, man, old Denzel was bitter because the racial bullshit always seemed to be a stump in the road. And you're right, UTG is rooting the bitterness out with the strong congregation. And like I said, like we say, we all done been through some stuff, man. We have a commonality, just like Denzel in that movie, man. We all know, if we wanted to be bitter, we could be. We could all be just some bitter people based upon our experiences, be it racism, police brutality, you know, poverty, miseducation, or lack thereof, you know. Again, man, we bless in ways, a lot of us, we in ways we don't even, not that we can't acknowledge them, we don't know them. We don't know them to acknowledge. I'm blessed to not be a bitter man. You know? Man. Real stuff, man. The homie says, this earth is so small in comparison to the vast manifestation of objective creation, that when you think of all the mass amounts of planets, galaxies, solar systems, and universes, we as a planet is minor. Yeah, in the scope of things, right? Right? Just a speck, like fly shit, a speck in the overall makeup of things, man. Israel says idolatry. I hate this word too, but anyway, Yeah, right. It is a tongue twister to me. Uh, Idolatry, and the black bole is a major part of our problems. I was having a discussion about a loved one about the bole. Hmm. Yeah. Mm. Well, Israel, explain what the part or how the bole play a major part in our problems as a people. I get the idolatry. I get that. The idolatry. I get that. But I understand the bole to some extent, but can you share that with us? Can you share that with us? I would appreciate it. It would be helpful to me if no one else. All right. It's what brothers do though. They go in and we're getting to have major conversations. I love it. All right, James Cass, I like this one too, because and I'll tell you why. James said, "I'm here having this delicious homemade beef stew with all the works: potatoes, carrots, onions, and greens. You gotta have your vegetables. Health is wealth." One. When I saw it at first, and I said, "Yeah, I ain't had no veggie stew in a minute now." I love that stew. Grew up on that. Grew up on stew, especially in the winter. Especially in the winter. Man, you love some hearty ass stew. Only thing I'm missing from it is meat. I don't eat meat, but man, my wife makes some of the best vegetarian stew. All the fixings, man. All the fixings. I'll be knocking that stuff. And I'm not really a big fan of cornbread anymore like it used to be. But with that stew, I'm taking cornbread or crackers. Give me some saltines up in there. I even use with them snack crackers too sometimes. Tell me about no stew, man. You ain't got me want some stew shit. Hello, world. All right. Folks said health is definitely key to our black souls. I got a mushroom pot pie in the oven. I'm halfway there, James. You dudes. I'm saying, okay. Oh my God. Raymond Skull said, man, I've had to wonder, is the God gene too raw for us as blacks to handle? Which is why we get combative with one another. It's like not being instructed and educated on how to handle a power. I think, like I said, man, I think the devil got hold. The devil got hold of the people, man. Based on, some of the experiences the people have been going through in the last millennium. The devil got hold, and it's the distraction of uh, 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 the devil's hand in our lives that, I think altered, what, the Most High, the power to be meant for us to, live out or experience. The devil has a hand in this, I think. I don't necessarily think that the God gene. See, because you got to look at it like this: if you trust in the Most High, God or whatever, then you have to understand or accept that then He knew what He was doing. He wouldn't bestow this on you and not anyone else, and he not or she or it the power not realizing it would be too much to deal with. I don't think it's not. I don't think so. You know, I don't think so. I think that if that's the case, and we're talking about this power, this energy, this supreme thing, being or whatever, creator of what all we know, all right, would have um the foresight to know this is something that's too much or this is something that they can handle. Also in that foresight is that oh, they will be tested, you know. So no, I don't think that was a mistake. I just don't. But you know, again, you know, the devil has his purpose, and it's to thwart God's plan. All right. Well, who do you think gonna win out? Yeah, if I was betting man, and I am every now and then, you know. But it's all fun. It's when you know I'm with family. We play Keno, left, right, center, and shit like that. We put quarters and dollars down. But anyway, in this respect, yeah, no, nah, knew exactly what was being done and knew exactly who to give it to. Knew exactly who to give it to. Think about it. Coldest thing, though, to think about that. We're the only ones. Well, I have to say, I'll take that back. I'm about to say we're the only ones who haven't committed atrocities on a grand or genocidal scale. But I have to think back a few decades, Rwanda and all that, you know. But other races, that in comparison to non-melanated ethnic groups, it doesn't compare. It doesn't excuse it, but it doesn't compare. You know, you know, look at these other ethnic groups now, and if, say for instance, the power that, you know, that energy, that source, that being, I gave that to Trump and his ilk, we're in a world of trouble. You know, we'd be in a world of trouble. We have Babel 2 jumping off. Let's go get more of what he gave us. We talk about trying to take down the Most High, so to speak. I don't know, man. But yeah, Raymond Scott says, man, I've had to wonder, is the God gene too raw for us as blacks to handle, which is why we get combative with one another. It's like not being instructed and educated on how to handle a power. Yeah. Again, though, just, you know, in the devil's at work, you know, and for lack of a better phrase or term, the devil's at work, will always be at work. That's his job, that's his purpose. You know what I mean? A lot of what we do, especially to one another, again, is learned behavior. It's something we picked up from those who call themselves owning us. You know, learn behavior, man. Learn behavior, and in spite of how we act with one another, I still say we are the most loving people, especially when it comes to home. We tend to not think that. But you want to see how blacks really love one another? Mess with one. Mess with one and you ain't one. You know what I mean? You know. Yeah. And they'll see how we handle power. You know. And you know, there's a lot to it. But yeah, man, it's all good, bro. Appreciate that, Raymond. I don't think that it wasn't, you know, like I say, the forethought wasn't that they couldn't handle it. I think that something like that, some of this magnitude, go without saying, actually, knew what was going to be what before he did it, you know? So, you know. Israel says Yosha chapter 3 is simply turning back to the Father and his true son / Messiah, King David. Jesus is an idol. Jesus is Lucifer. The truth hurts. We can't get ahead because we worship idols. I get that though, because there's an image of, Jesus. Nowadays we want, we see more and more images of a black Jesus as opposed to, you know, decades and centuries of seeing a white Jesus image, this idol. I kind of get that. I kind of get that. I kind of get that. So you say the truth hurts and we can't get ahead because we worship idols. Maybe some validity in that too. Who knows? Who knows? All right. Speak your piece, brother. Israel goes on to say, man, the Father hates idolatry. Excuse me. Idolatry is why we went into slavery or why we were slaves. You go on to say we lost our power, protection, and peace because of it. Idolatry. Okay. There you go. All right, brother Al, I see you. He says salutations to you and yours, bub, and to the kings and queens in the royal group. Okay, I'm late, but I'm in this thing. B1 equals black first. What we say, man, better late than never. All right. Better late than never, brother. Peace and blessings to you and yours, King. Hopefully everything is everything and you're doing good on this Thursday evening. Looking toward to the weekend. All right, man. Good to see you in here, brother. Whole lot of conversation up in here tonight. I appreciate it. We love it. Man, you could tell it's appreciated. It's back and forth, man. I don't see no screaming and hollering. I don't see no ninja this and be that and F you and now go watch another one. You can pick anyone. And in the first 30 seconds, my brother gonna be addressed as a ninja. There's gonna be some drama. Appreciate this atmosphere, y'all. There you go. Israel going to say the Roman Empire / Catholic Church wrote the New Testament. The New Testament is idolatry. It's Lucifer's son / Baal worship. Yeah. I've heard that before as fact as well. Queen Nzinga says, Al Thomas, it's all good. We know where your heart is. Good to see you, my brother. As always, B1. All right, Queen. All right, what's C1 at? Joe Farrell. All right, salute to the chat. Salute to Joe Farrell. Good to see you back in here with us, brother. Peace and blessings to yours. Salute to you as well. This is Under the Groove Podcast, people. This is touching bases with the people live. Like, share, and comment. Subscribe if you see fit. We don't twist arms here. I think that when people do that, they're getting something that they appreciate getting, But this is where we get down with the get down and we focus on the focus. Jay Farrell, it's good to see you here, brother. Continue to be a part of this chat, man. Appreciate you. The homie say, Bub, when you and the OG from the coast say it was destructive, you're right. Look at his fragmented development set against set continuity, dissension, evil, trying to break away from itself. Yeah, the brother told me straight up. He say, man, it was created. It was a destructive force. I'll tap in with the brother to see if it's okay to mention him. I'm not one of them, man, that do that type of thing. You know what I'm saying, bros? I just, everything's above board here, So, but yeah, me and that brother spoke, and and had a few more brothers on the line with us, also off the east side, and we was chopping it up for a good minute. And just period, point blank, say, man, nothing constructive about it. It started out destructive. It's going to end destructive. There it is. And I tend to agree. I tend to agree. So appreciate that. DeLand 562 said, Big Bubs, man, speak on Fort Worth and if you consider them part of Hoover. All right, listen, man. I'm gonna speak on brothers in Fort Worth as brothers. You know, straight up, man. Now, whatever community they arise from or they support or whatever, that's on them. You know, I know brothers who, claim Hoover down there, and that's all right. Now, who am I to say you can, you can't, you know? Brothers in the chat the other night say, hey, bud, we can't make nobody, and we don't have that authority. And I don't pretend to be somebody on social media with that type of authority to say, hey, man, they this and they that. Them brothers know what they are. We spoke today. Them brothers are waking up, man. Them brothers are conscious. Them brothers said to me, man, we're black men. We love our community. We want to do better for ourselves and our community. I support that. I support that message. You know, I want to get past the stage where I'm recognizing brothers from where they claim to be from. I just want to see a brother and say, that's a brother. And as we jail, we kick it, you know what I mean? We socialize, say, man, I come out of the community of woo, woo, woo. All right, peace and blessings. More power to you, brother. What it's like over there? What y'all got going on now? Oh, man, we just did this thing over here, man. We bought a whole strip mall. Matter of fact, we're looking at 2 or 3 more. That's what I'm on, homie. That's what I'm on, homie. You know? Straight up, man. I can only speak for me, man. You know? Tell you where I came from, man. I can tell you that because I know where the hell I'm going. You know? Like I say, more power to them brothers in Texas, man. And that's how we should look at it. Them are brothers in Texas. All right? And whatever they say, they profess to be, or what that's for them to do. It's not for me to do, man. I don't get down like that. All right. And no disrespect. And I know you didn't mean none. All right, brother. But like I said earlier, I did speak on my brothers in Fort Worth. Shouts out, man, to them. They know who they are. Do the thing, man. Be the example. We need examples, man. We need examples, man. Brothers doing the right thing. All right. That's all that matter, bro. One love. Al Thomas, yeah, hey man, you peeping? Yeah. Our brother, man, tapped in. Appreciate that, man. Hakeem, man, it's good to see you, big bro. I hope that all is well with you and the seeds. Tell him about it, man. Real stuff, Al. That's what I told him. Like minds, man. Like minds. You dig? Like minds. All right, Deland. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you get the gist of what we do. Don't let the name fool you, bro. All right. We're about just the brothers, man. Uplifting, man, and supporting brothers. We're about loving one another, unity, man, positivity. All right. Let's leave it at that. All right. If you listen to the podcast, man, and you'll get a gist of what we about, bro. We're not about that, all right? Straight up. There are other cats can address that, man. If you choose to go and get that, I'm sure that they'll be more than willing to provide you with the answer to your questions, brother. But that's not what we do here, in all due respect. All right. Peace to you and yours, loved one. That's how I'm gonna deal with that. That's how I'm gonna deal with that. My skin thick, bro. With none of that. But anyway, so yeah. Alonzo says, man, peace and blessings, Al. It's good to see you, my brother. I hope all is well with you and your family. Lisa Moore. She said, Shabbat Shalom, brother Israel. All right. Yeah. Sabbath. I said Shabbat. Sabbath, excuse me. Sabbath Shalom, Lisa Moore. Praise to the Most High, only forever. Much love, sis. There you go. All right. Soldier Denise, how's the sister? This is one of the queen mothers, y'all. Soldier Denise goes on to say, we create boundaries based on what's best for the children and elderly. Offer incentives to your littles for looking out for the babies and old folks. All it takes is for one person to just do it. Truth to power. Truth to power. And I swear I do recall growing up like that. We looked out for the little ones. I could have been 9, but you know, we might have had 6 years old, 5, 6-year-olds running around, but we had to look out for them. We had the elderly, you know, we knew how to look out for them. We have been taught, we have been raised to do these things. You know what I mean? And I mean, really, man, in a real way. We didn't let the young get into stuff. You know, we watched them. It was on their neck about it, you know. The elderly, we didn't let them carry their groceries in the house, to put the trash out, struggle, you know, let their lawns get, you know, overgrown, and you know what I mean? Didn't let nobody abuse them, you know. So I get that. That's some real spit right there, sister. And you going to say peace to the kings and queens of the chat. It's good to catch y'all all live. It's good to have you here with us. Real spit. All right. Queen Nzinga sending her shots out to Soldier Denise. All right. Folks says salute to the commentator, Queen, salute, and all the wives who stick by their husbands. Yeah. Alonzo, man, said, Bub, that's a dope statement. I'm too blessed to be a bitter man. Fire. Man, that's really, man. That go for all of us if you think about it, man. See, that's the thing, and I'm just saying what I think to be, or what I think pertains to me. I know that if I'm allowing myself to be bitter about whatever the case may be, or whatever issue I might want to allow make me bitter, I'm missing something. You know, I'm missing something. I'm gonna miss something, man. Because now I'm bitter. That means my judgment is clouded. My focus is clouded. I'm missing something. Man, we still have too much life to live, man. To be bitter about what's behind us. And we made it through. And we didn't got past. Shit. Here you go with that again. Okay. Yeah. Marcus Wilson says, big bro. All right, Marcus. What it do, man? Hopefully you and yours are well, brother. Long time no see. We got to chop it up, man. All right. Hey, talking to you. Yeah, come on. Yeah, help brother out. Yeah, right. Okay. Yisrael says, yes, sir, of course. The black bole is the black gatekeepers. They help protect the power that be. They are also called the 1%ers. It's our own people in high places holding us down. Again, we had this discussion too, Israel. You know, we talked about that. We talked about how throughout, throughout time and in certain societies, there were those of us who did that, who looked out for the powers that be best interests. If something was going on, they didn't have wind of, they went and told them. You know what I mean? Just all kind of stuff. So yeah. Yeah. And I said this, or we said the other night, that would probably be something that would continue on until we decide that enough is enough, even with that type of stuff. All right. Alonzo says, man, we were instructed on how we were supposed to be in the Torah. We was or were supposed to follow the laws that the Most High gave us. Yeah. The Torah is also one of our books. Pope Mitchell says, humans, we possess the same power that it is through our weakness that God show up in our lives to be perfect using. Oh, yeah. I got you. All right, hey, Marcus, I see you, bro. Mark says to my big bro, much love. Come through and check on your little bro, man. Lil TS, Stacy gave your wife much love, to see you soon. All right. Yeah. Mark Stacy, give your wife much love. I will, as a matter of fact, rather sooner rather than later. All right. Yeah, be passing through there momentarily. Real spit. Okay, let me read that again, Poke. My bad. And hey, Marcus, I see you, brother. One love, homie. And all the best to you and bro, all right? Both your bros. Poke said, as humans, we possess the same power, but it is through our weakness that God show up in our lives to perfect using, to perfect us. Got you. All right, got you. Hey, Marcus, yeah, that's right. Continue to stand tall through it all, man. As bro would say, stay the course. Stay the course. Pope went on to say, man, keep peace in your heart, bub. I appreciate you. You got to go. Love to UTG and the group congregation. All love and respect back to you, Pope. Yeah, we'll holler again, bro. Again, man, good Thursday evening. Enjoy the weekend, man. Be safe, man. Nothing but love, man, and prosperity, man. Extend it your way, bro. One love. Peace. BLACKFIRST hell high, bro. Israel said movies to watch, Eyes Wide Shut. Did we see that one? We saw that one. That was a good one. We might watch that again then. And Reclaiming the Throne, both on Tubi. A lot of info in both those movies. All right. Appreciate that, Israel. Yeah. Also, Richard Pryor's movie, Which Way Is Up. That's a classic. That's a damn classic. Now you're going to have us on them blaxploitation movies, but that was a good one. Which Way Was Up. Fucking classic. Yeah, now I had to ban that brother. I know you guys see that. Hopefully, he decides, if he comes back, he's allowed back. He understands what this channel is about. It's not about gang shit. Not like that. We want to end gang shit. In fact, brother, gang banging needs to die so brothers and sisters can live, man. Don't care one flying flick about gang shit. Real spit. All right. Like I say, respect, man. No disrespect to you. But, that's just something we're not going to do over here. Peace and blessings to you and yours, bro. Soldier Denise says, well, thank you, King. Peace to you and your queen always. Likewise, always peace and love to you, sister. Oh, here go Thomas, because, I love it, though. And I'm going to let them have that conversation. I'm just read Thomas's comment. We were thriving in Africa prior to the creation of so-called holy books and the accompanying God/TMH. Soldier Denise says, it's true. So let's bring it back. Let's make it a habit to once again look out for our own people. What we do shouldn't have to be celebrated or seen by others. Just do it when the opportunity arises. Hear, hear. All right. And I hope you guys heard that. I'll read it again because it makes sense. And she's talking about looking out for the young as well as the old, our elders and our youth. You know, this is our job. This is what we should. This, I think, it's more than responsibility. I think it's an obligation to look out for the youth and look out for our elders, those who've come before you and survived all this. Yay, man. Let's do the right thing. All right. So, sister says, yeah, man. Let me read that one more time. It's true in terms of looking out, how we were raised to look out for the young ones and those who are older than us. All right. The in between, looking out for both ends between the middle, man. You know, so she says it's true. So let's bring it back. Let's make it a habit to once again look out for our own people. What we do shouldn't have to be celebrated or seen by others. Just do it when the opportunity arises. Thank you for that, Soldier Denise. Thank you for that. All right. Al Thomas says our origins in history is in Africa. Why do so many of us want to be anything but what we are? Africans. With all due respect, if I were to follow a religion or spiritual system, it would where we go, certainly be one of African origin. And what do you guys say about the presence of dark melanated people here on Turtle Island way before anybody else? Be the original indigenous or aboriginal people here on Turtle Island, North America. What do you guys say to that? You know, because, you know, you do have pyramids here. You have sculpted busts, the heads of whoever they were with African features, been here for a long time, man. What do you guys say to that? You know, and it had to have been way before the 16th century and slavery's inception here in North America, you know, supposedly with black people, of black people. I think that our people, man, we were seafarers, man. We all over the world, man. There's no continent we didn't settle on and bring civilization to. That's what I think. I don't think it had any, and yeah, it originated from the motherland, Akabu land. That's where I think we all came, you know, even those are here or whatever. That makes us African or Akabulanian, if there's such a term, if I said that right. But that's what it makes us. All right. And this place, they just call it North America or the United States. It really has a name, man, that they won't keep. They'll hide that from us too. You know, they'll hide that. They'll go to their depths hiding that from us. So anyway, certainly be one of African origin. This is what you replied to, Al. And Israel, you're saying, Al, look, it is not true that the Africans start the slave trade by selling us to the Arabs and Europeans. Wait. Yeah, that's what he's Al Thomas. Is it? Okay, excuse me. Is it not true that the Africans started the slave trade by selling us to the Arabs and Europeans? Yeah, I'll be careful with that one. You know, it's just, you know, I don't know about that. I don't know. Al, okay, we're not Africans. We're original Asiatic black men and women. Okay, good conversation to have. I'll tell you what. And that's the thing, though, about us when it comes to this. We need to know or decide who we are and where we come from, not to be told by somebody not melanated who we are and where we come from. I just did a piece earlier talking about this, that exact thing. We supposed to know. That way we say who we are. No one else. No one else. So that's our work. That's also a part of our duty, you know? And I think, like I said, discussion is what will bring us to that. You know, that's the only way to get to it. We have to start talking about it, you know, in our own way, you know, and stop letting people tell us about it. We have to do the research. We have to dig deep and find out who we are so that we can say who we are and not be told who we are by others. Alonzo Johnson says, Al, we are not African. We are original Asiatic black men and women. He go on to say, we are the Israelites, the original Israelites. Here, here. All right, y'all go ahead and have that conversation. Yeah. All right, and then I have to get things in order and be on my way. I want to say this before we go, everybody. Here's something. Here's what I'd like to ask the Royal Group congregation. After we shut down the live, you know, we post this thing, man. It would be appreciated you guys go in and like and share that as it's posted on YouTube. All right. Comment even. That would be something nice and something we would appreciate more of. All right. I think I also have to go in there and give it a title. Yeah, I'll go in there and do that. As you guys noticed, some of you, hopefully you noticed I did something new tonight. I inserted another video from, you know, someone who was speaking positive or consciously about us as a people. This is something I plan to do from now on. And this is specifically to the Royal Group congregation. You guys have links to other, you know, platforms that are conscious, to other, you know, channels and podcasts that are conscious and speak to what we talk about. Send me that link through the email. There's an email attached to the podcast, and I'll go pull that up, and boom, we'll have that discussion as well. We'll insert that in our conversation. I think that'll be good for us, you know, give us more to, you know, discuss and all that. So yeah, we do this though for the people, and that includes you guys having these discussions back and forth. You do this for each other. You do it for the people. All right, let's continue to look out, not just for self, but for each other. Let's show that love and respect always. And let's unify as we go about our daily work, living life, man. Let's unify. Let's love one another. Let's educate each other as best we can. Love yourself so that you can love that person standing next to you, or you run into coming out the supermarket or work. Show love and respect. Show that, man, love and respect can bring unity, man. And we are all we got, man. So to put that at anybody else's feet or burden anybody else with that would be wrong, man. Would be so wrong. Support and love one another. Take care of each other. Happy Thursday, everybody. And we look forward to a grand rising on the morrow. You are, you have been, and you will be under the groove. Peace and love to the people, as well as power is in the people. All right, everybody.
Count the names, count the bodies, count the victory. Cullen Hughes, Hurst, and writing future history. From the Apollo to the borough to the sphere, where the echo of those Harlem nights still ringing clear. So when they ask what happened in those tenement flats, between the spirituals and where consciousness is at, tell them we transformed suffering to scholarship and song. Tell them we've been telling you we're brilliant all along. The Renaissance will prologue every decade since the sequel. Every black child born's continuation of the people who survived the Middle Passage, survived the Jim Crow laws, and built magnificence from nothing but their vision and their flaws. That's in the sergeant. This is once a less than. Actors, actors, and reciters. Please don't you, I can't stop us. Power sensitive, watch of the applause. for pose. Need your data, talks and constantly problem when the wet just wanna build the season bait. Now don't get the pause. It's just erasing up the times, plead the markets off the main. Naked on the fans, turning naked love the dirt, suffers like a kisher. You went from the preaching up on side is each alone, bitch on the shit and untrue seeing vets, someone the very inch on Gary Land. Be hell in heaven, you see what the bound of it. Wait, something for the moderate to keep them full the club and saw the boards to the single land is carried open slowly. Keep us looking on my mother, break it, generous, more than he and let the visit be. It's every time we keep a spawn.